Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for your Build Your B2B Commerce Platform with Magento, presented by Signix Datamatics. I'm going to turn it over to their team right now, but as you have questions throughout the presentation, please enter it in your question box, and we will address all of those at the end.
Welcome everyone to the B2B webinar. I'm Mrinmay Desai. I head the e-commerce and WCM practice at Signix Datamatics. I'll be here presenting today the B2B scenario and how Magento can be leveraged to build the B2B, followed by a case study. And then my colleague Priyanka Sharma will provide some insight into the Signix Datamatics. So thank you all for coming today. And please give me a moment there. So the agenda of the webinar today is we will be covering the B2B commerce scenario, how Magento can be leveraged as the B2B commerce platform. We will be going through a quick demo of the B2B framework that has been built at Signix Datamatics, and which will be followed by a case study of a top very high performance coding solution slide. And then we'll talk briefly about the Signix Datamatics. So guys, when we look at B2B e-commerce, the first thing that comes is the customer experience. In today's world, we all are consumers as well as we are sellers as well as buyers. So when we become users, we expect the experience to be in the form of B2C like websites. And that is what is the expectation today as well for the B2B buyers, that the experience has to be mobile rich, user friendly, as well as cutting down the transaction cost and bringing in effectiveness for the business. So the B2B commerce, the whole idea about B2B e-commerce is to bring growth to the business. And the main investment is in the rich user-friendly experience similar to the B2C, which will bring in top-notch commerce experience across channels, prioritizing mobile, as today is the age of mobile and 52% of B2B customers do access and research products in the businesses based on the mobile. Likewise, B2B commerce is very much needed for the omni-channel customers, where it can be profitable for online as well as offline channels. And also the B2B platform will allow the sellers to be able to connect directly with their customers through their e-commerce platform. So here we are looking at the scenario of the B2B commerce portal. And the stakeholders that we see here are the customers. So in B2C scenario, we usually have customers who would come and browse the product. But now when we speak of B2B e-commerce, we are talking about organizations and sub-users, divisions, and cost centers. And when customers review, they would be reviewing product catalogs specific to their organization. They would be able to manage the orders with the ease of ordering, tracking, as well as paying based on the purchase term. Ease of search, ease of processing the accounts receivable and payables, and able to see the reports and dashboard. The other stakeholders are the sellers. That is, if I am a seller, I would need to onboard the organizations as my customers. I would need to see the forecast. I would also have to have managed the agreements and inventory, based on which I could be doing forecast for my future supply. And then the stakeholder would be internal users, which would be internal to the customer as an organization, and which would give the ability to have onboarding and offboarding and ease of catalog management, managing promotions, and so on. All this is to bring a rich UI, responsive and collaborative portal network so that the sellers and buyers can collaborate online, and they can reduce the transaction charges and improve the operational efficiency. So how can we leverage Magento as a B2B platform? As we all know, Magento is an eBay company with 30% e-commerce market share, and it is a very rich, feature-rich professional open source e-commerce solution which caters to the B2C market. There are over 240,000 plus merchants who are using Magento, and the whole idea is how do we leverage Magento into a B2B platform. So in terms of creating a B2B framework which gives the experience of B2C experience, the way it has been delivered or created is that the customers of the B2C commerce are created as organizations with cost centers and divisions. For all the customers with promotions and discounts. Whereas for B2B commerce, we have organization-specific catalog with the specific unique pricing that can be provided for those products, as well as specific promotions and discounts can be defined for that particular organization based on the payment terms and purchase conditions that are agreed upon. There are quick order lists for divisions so that large orders can be placed very quickly. Also, there is a consolidated invoicing for the organizations which can be processed. And there are going to be reports which are available to the seller admin as well as the buyer admin to view what are the and define what are the forecasts for the upcoming months. Also, this has been coupled with the mobile-rich experience of hybrid Android app which is built on phone app. And we will be showcasing the QR code scanner as well as the voice-based product search. So now moving on to the demo of the B2B framework that has been built. I'll be taking you through that. The use case here that we have considered is for an agro-pharma industry where where the seller would be a supplier of vacuuming equipment or a farming equipment or milking equipment and so on. And there will be various buyers who would be onboarded onto this network and they would be able to purchase these products online. And the seller admin would be able to manage them and monitor them from the backend. So here, this is my B2B e-commerce portal. And right now I'm not logged in and I'm able to see all the various categories that are available for this particular seller. Now I would be logging in. So if I go back to my slide, I will be referencing the B2B commerce portal stakeholders just to kind of walk us through the demo. And I'll be first of all considering all the customers or the buyers that would be onboarded onto the B2B platform. So here I would log in as the buyer. And when I'm logging in, what I can see is my orders that I have placed. As we see, there are certain orders that are placed for my divisions as well as my cost centers. And I can also view the order status based on the approval that can be provided. Moreover, as a buyer of this particular organization, I have a certain set of categories that are assigned to this particular organization by the seller. And I would be able to view my catalog. And I'll be able to place the order. Now when I add to cart, I could always update the category and I could define based on the multiple addresses for a particular division. Here, since I'm a buyer for multiple divisions, I'd be able to select for which particular shipping address I would like to ship my products to. Okay. Now here I have the ability to either mark it as a recurring order. So I could mark the recurring order name with a specific name. I could define the interval at how many days I want this particular order to be repeated and the frequency of the recurring order, that is how long, let's say for 6 cycles or 10 cycles, I would like to continue to order this. And finally, based on once this is confirmed, I would place the order. As of now, I am placing the regular order. And I will be able to see that my order is right now in a pending status. Now this particular order will need to undergo an approval, for which there is an approver who is already designated for this particular organization. When I see these are the pending orders which need to be approved, I could always go in and review the order. And once I have reviewed, I could go back and I could approve the order. So basically this gives the flexibility to the organization to have a buyer with purchase limit and the approver to be able to approve the orders, review and approve the orders for the various divisions that are provided. The approver will also be able to review recurring orders. They could also have their own personal order list. Personal order list would be something like a quick order list, and that would allow the customer to have their own set of products which are frequently purchased to be saved in a POL, that is personal order list, and to be able to purchase or place the orders quickly. There is also capability to upload the orders. And here this could be, so there could be an XLS or a CSV file, and there is ability to validate, and this will allow to upload the products into the cart. So now these products are uploaded and I have this created in my cart. So as a buyer, I have the ability to quickly browse through the products as well as place the orders quickly. Now going back to the stakeholders, I'd be considering the seller admin through which the organizations are onboarded. So when an organization would like to sign up, they would have to register as an organization, fill up their details, and they would be able to upload their legal documents, which will require them to be certified as a approved and authorized organization. For the sake of time, I have already created an organization, and which we could able to see that as a seller admin. So right now I'm logged in as a seller admin here, and I'm able to see all the organizations that have been created, which are my buyer or customers. Now if I click on a particular organization, I'll be able to see that what is the type of that organization. That is direct to the seller, which requires no approval from the buyer side, or they could be routed to the approval as we just saw in the demo right now. And also we could have the payment terms, as in how many days after which the payment is due in terms of the invoice calculation. Also there is ability to upload documents here. So I could have MSAs and other documents here selected and saved for this particular organization. I could also have the invoices. For a particular organization, I'll be able to see the various consolidated invoices that are created, as well as if there are pending outstanding amounts, those could be calculated from this invoice. So right now, this is an offline process. However, we have also integrated credit card payments, as well as we have integrated pricing for products for the catalog. Moreover, there are also capabilities to have RMA as well as billing agreements. And here we have all the details for the customers who are logged in as the users of the organization. Other than this, as it says, whenever the order is placed, it will show up in the seller admin's bucket and it will show as pending. Once the order is received, the seller admin would mark it as received by seller. So for that, the order cannot be received since it is not yet approved. However, the order which has been approved, only that order will be marked by the seller as received. So once this is marked, particular approver would be able to see this, that there are orders which have been created. Now once it is received by the seller would get the order ready, and then they would be able to mark it as delivered once it is shipped. And this will mark the order as complete. So now if I'm logged in as a buyer, I'd be able to see the order status here, which mentions that order is delivered. Now there is also capability to reorder this particular order, hence giving the buyer the ability to reorder the same product. Also there are reports. Now moving back to my presentation, the stakeholders. So the internal users, it allows for onboarding and offboarding. So for that, a customer or a user can be marked as active or inactive, hence allowing the customers which are no more active, they can be marked as inactive. Also, there are reports, the custom reports for the B2B, which can be viewed. So in terms of custom reports, we can view in terms of which products have been sold the most, allowing for forecasting of inventory. Invoice-wise breakup, giving us the details on which are the invoices still to be paid and which are not paid. Also division-wise report on which are the divisions which have been ordering a certain set of products frequently. So now this is going to generate a product-wise report for the entire month for a particular organization, and it will display the products. While this loads up, we can look at the organization admin. So right now I am entering as the buyer admin or the organization admin. And as an admin of the buyer organization, I have the ability to create divisions with the cost center, as well as I have the ability to create a user, and I can add a user with the details as well as which division I would like the user to be working with, as well as I could select the role, whether I would want the user to be a buyer or an approver, with their own login and password information, which will allow the user to access it. Moreover, I would be able to look at the reports. So I would be able to look at division orders. So which division has placed which orders, as well as user-wise orders. So this gives the organization admin the ability to have the reports on the product as well as users. And when we look at here, the seller admin is able to look at the products which have been purchased for this particular organization in the past month, with the gross amount as well as the tax that is calculated. So these are some of the use cases that have been considered here, along with which what we were just speaking about, having a mobile-rich feature. So we do have a mobile app created on PhoneGap. PhoneGap being easily deployable. And I'll just demonstrate it in a moment. So this is my Android app. Right now I'm connected with my mobile phone and I'll be clicking on the B2B mobile app. What we see here are all the features of the web that can also be done through the mobile app. And here I'll now log in. I'll first of all log out and then log in as the buyer. I'm entering my password. So now I'm logged in, and now what we can see is that I had created a product and I had added it to my cart, and same is also available in my cart here, so that if I need to update my shopping cart with further products, I could do that very with ease of operation from the web to the mobile. Now there is also a capability to search by the QR code. So we can scan through the QR code So this particular QR code is scanned, and based on that, there is a search that shows up with the product details, the image as well as the SKU and the product description. And I can always add it to the cart if I have found the right product. Other than that, these days the ease of use is very much in demand, and as a result, we have also created a search by voice integration. So if I would search a particular product name, I would be able to do that, and I'll be demonstrating that right now. Solo. Just give me a moment. Solo. So there is a bit of a lag here. What we see here are the products which are relevant to the voice search. They are displayed here, and I could add it to my cart and continue with my operation here. So in all, these are the features that we are showcasing here today. And now going back to my PPT. So this gives us the capability to have user-friendly framework. And we have leveraged this demo for one of our top global leader in coating products, one of our clients. For them, the main business need was to create a common platform. This was for a global manufacturer and supplier of premium liquid and powder coating. And the need was to create a common platform, as there were 3 different homegrown systems across the 3 regions with their own integrations to the ERP system. And as a result, the need was to create a common platform reusing the critical applications as well as connecting with the ERP in the backend, which also required portal engagement, customer engagement, user personal order list, as well as reduction in the order fulfillment turnaround, which was earlier 70 hours to almost real time. This enabled this particular solution enabled the customer to be able to scale and open new lines and in new areas, that is across body shops as well as in new regions in Asia Pac. This helped them reduce the total cost of ownership and as well as comply with the TAC requirements which were required to transition to the next environment. In terms of features, there were about portal and e-commerce users. So from the portal, there were users coming to the e-commerce platform, and the concurrent users were about 4,500 for the e-commerce, whereas 13,500 for the portal. And there were about 10,000 plus SKUs which were integrated and from the ERP systems across the 3 regions. And there were about 542,000 orders per month, which was a remarkable improvement, because earlier the order processing time was somewhere near to 72 hours, and that was changed to almost 1/10 of the time. As a result, the benefits was there was greater customer satisfaction, better UI, integrated UI with multilingual capabilities. Also improved order management system, allowing removing the need for manual entry as well as product code mapping. There was also enhanced product catalog with preferences, role-specific catalogs, and so on. And there was a middleware, scalable middleware-based architecture which allowed for integration with the existing and future IT applications. This resulted in almost 5 million cost saving over years. So now I'll hand over to Priyanka to talk about Signet. Thank you, Mrinay. So I'll be talking about Signet Data Matrix. First, let's look at Signet Data Matrix by numbers. We are a purely open source services company and have been in the business since 2000. We're helping companies to adopt open source. Till date, we have implemented above 500 solutions and currently have across 500 employees across US, UK, Germany, India, and Singapore. So, talking about our capability, we offer solutions across 4 domains, that is portal content and collaboration, enterprise content management, big data analytics, and e-commerce. Also, we have developed business engagement platforms which come with built-in features and can be customized according to the client's requirements. The services which we offer, it involves open source consulting, assessment, open source readiness assessment, and then testing and UI services. Talking about our e-commerce capability, we have been a silver solution partner with Magento and since 2013 and have developed over 20 Magento implementations. Our services in Magento include consulting, development and deployment, customization, integration, support and maintenance, and managed term services. We'll be more than happy to take your questions.
Thank you so much. So we do have a couple of quick questions that we're going to touch base on here. Sorry.
Okay, sure.
So the first question that we have for today is, Which editions of Magento have been used in the case study you presented?
So we have used the Magento Community Edition for the B2B Framework, whereas for the case study, we have used the Magento Enterprise Edition.
Perfect. Which OS supports the PhoneGap app you showed in the demo?
So as we know, PhoneGap supports the Android, Simba, and BlackBerry, and all the various apps, all the various OS.
Are integrations possible with third-party applications such as an ERP or SAP or anything like that?
Absolutely. So like I mentioned in the case study, we did have integrations with ERP, and the same has been built on top of the B2B framework to have the custom APIs or even connectors that would allow to connect with ERPs and other third-party systems.
Perfect. That is all the questions we have today. Signix team, do you have any additional information for everyone?
Well, they can reach out to us in case of any queries or if a further demo is needed.
Oh, I just had one more question pop in. What are the performance statistics?
So are we talking about the case study or is it for the B2B commerce?
They did not specify, so I would go ahead and answer for each.
Okay. So in terms of the case study, we had this was required of the HTTPS thing, and that's where we had about 768 concurrent users within the page load time of 2 to 3 seconds. Whereas for the B2B e-commerce framework, we have 250 concurrent users, and that is the page load time is about 1 to 2 seconds.
Perfect. So I believe that answered our question there. If there are no other questions, then we will let everyone go. Please watch your email for a follow-up email with